We did it. We finally made it. It took us how long? Took us an hour. Almost 48 minutes. 48 minutes. That's not bad.
Nice.
All right. Welcome to episode 15. We have lots to report. How are you guys doing? Start with Phil.
I'm doing great. I've been playing games and avoiding the heat and painting models, so win-win-win.
And Mark?
Same old, same as Phil. Playing games, painting. Not avoiding the heat so much, but it's all good.
Your screen, you look kind of Arctic. You have this sort of...
so let me go with...
No, I like...
That's
that's
all I got. That's all I got. Okay.
It's very cool. We're getting nearing October, so it's working for me.
It's hot in my place. I don't want to put the hot light on. That's the deal. So
good. And that's a good reason.
Yeah. And Paul, how you been doing?
I've been doing really well. Yes, avoiding the heat. Very important. I've also been playing Bolt Action, second edition for the final time, because next time we play it'll be third edition. And Xander's, our new store, got in Bolt Action.
Yes.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool.
So, yes.
But we're going to stick with the schedule, and the schedule is you're going to tell us about BattleTech and Strategicon, which is got several names, right, Phil? Go, Phil.
Yes. Yeah, this was the Gateway Strategicon convention, and that's their Labor Day convention, which was held over Labor Day weekend. Friday through Monday, I was there. Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, I was in the BattleTech Alpha Strike tournament. We had 8 people.
Is this where we add our sweet little pictures? Or
did you want to show we were making a slideshow, or?
Wait till I get to the Sunday stuff.
Okay, sorry about that. Didn't mean to interrupt.
We just got excited. Sorry.
So yes, we have a whole bunch of new technical abilities that we will demonstrate later on. So it was an 8-person tournament, 3 games. I won my first 2 games fairly handily, and then in the finals I got smashed pretty badly. So I made it to the finals, so that was okay. And then I played in another game on Sunday that a different person ran. But then I ran a BattleTech Alpha Strike tournament, not scenario, on Sunday. And at this point, if we could show some slides, do you want me to show the slide?
Yeah. You have the power. You should do the power.
The power to show slides. All right.
All right.
Okay, and go full screen on that puppy.
See, how do I do that?
Oh, you just go up to yeah, you got it. Oh, the other one. There you go.
Slideshow.
All right, so this was an overview of the tournament, of the table. We had 6 people. It was the BattleTech Battle of Helm, as you can see from the source book on the bottom. Grey Death Legion trying to hold out from the Free Worlds League. They were outnumbered 2-1. They just had to survive for 10 turns, and it took us 5 hours to get through the game. So here you can see the Grey Death Legion. Ooh, yes, you got it. There's 2.
Ooh, nice.
But we're showing the slideshow now, so I don't know if they could see that.
They can. They can see that on my screen. They don't.
Okay.
They don't want to see my face.
All right, so there's part of the Grey Death Legion holding out. There's the commanders of the Grey Death Legion at deployment. On the other side, there's all these Free Worlds Leagues, and they just kept advancing. They had to cross the river and to get to the Grey Death Legion, who kind of just held back for the first couple turns, waiting for the enemy to close. But then, turn 5 or 6, there was a massive battle back in the backfield when everyone was shooting at each other, and lots of people died. And in the very end, the Grey Death Legion died on the final turn 10. There was one guy who was trying to survive, and he was taken out at the very end. So the players had a lot of fun because it went to the final turn. I've run this scenario before, and it was pretty well received. So I'm glad I did it. I'll probably run this again at future events.
That looks cool. Very nice.
So yeah, it's a lot of painted models, including new models from the Kickstarter, and a lot of good terrain. Most of it pre-painted from Gale Force 9.
Did you have any of these guys?
That's an awesome no. So that's a giant mech. We had a lot of smaller ones on the table this time. So yeah, we did not have any awesomes. But we were historical for the time for the BattleTech universe.
How many points is this game?
So it was, I think, roughly 450 for the Grey Death, and a little over 800 for the Free Worlds League. The Grey Death was outnumbered 2-1, but they did have the defense position, and they just had to have one guy survive 10 turns, which they almost did.
Okay. Very good. Looks great.
So I think I could stop sharing now, and we could go back to the regular presentation.
There you go.
Yep. There we are. That was easy. Painless. All right.
Nice.
So I'm going to try that. This is something fun. So I go into share my screen, and I want to share this, and then you guys can see that right
We
now.
can watch your stream. Yep.
Yep. And then I'll just quickly change it to what I want it to see.
Now we're seeing all of us.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, but we should.
That's the wrong window.
There we go. Okay, and then I wanted to show you.
We're still not seeing the slides.
You're still
It's
not.
saying that your stream is still running.
Yeah, we're seeing the wrong screen.
Oh, I'm seeing the wrong screen. Okay, so I think I can do this, right? Can you see that? Oh, wait.
You have to select the screen that you want us to be on.
Okay, so stop streaming. How was that experience? Don't show me that again. Okay, so let me try that again. That was okay. So.
And you'll be able to edit all this out, right?
Okay, sure.
One day.
One day in the future, yeah. Let's see.
Please excuse our dust.
Oh, come on. We're doing fine. Okay, so now you should be able to see that, right?
Okay, see that? Watching your stream now.
Yeah, you
There
have to
you
go
go.
full screen. We don't see full screen.
Okay, so do I have to full screen on my
Slideshow.
Oh yeah, that. There we go. There we go.
Yay.
Perfect. Yay.
I see myself. All right.
You see yourself there. I don't see
Yes.
Mark. Mark is probably taking the picture.
Maybe I am. Yeah, that might be. I'm not sure.
Yeah, my concern is that I'm not seeing it on the other. I have to go check that too, because it's not showing up on what we're seeing on the thing. So let me do something here. Let me change this. Try it this way. Yeah, that's going to be better, I think. Yep. And now when I go to, that's what I had originally. So your stream is still running. You don't see that because
We see your
I'm a loser.
slideshow.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
anymore.
they're closed. Maybe you have to close YouTube or whatever that is. The other one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to show the right screen here.
Do you want me to show the slides?
Yeah, it might be better because I'm lame. No, I can do this. Come on.
Let's see.
Oh, wrong screen. Infinite host, yeah.
See.
There we
That's
go.
where we get
Is that it?
Bizarro World. No, I get Bizarro
No.
World.
You still get Bizarro World?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not good.
Okay, well, you guys do it then.
Okay, Phil.
It's
you got
Mark's
it.
anyways. Mark should be watching it anyways. Let me stop my screen.
All right, I'll share the screen again.
You got it, Phil.
I'll show you how it's done.
You betcha.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Could you see it?
Yep.
Yep, I see that.
We all see it. We're all.
All right, we're back to.
I'm just going
Now-
back up.
This is from yesterday? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
So this was the major Wellington event from yesterday. It was the AWI day. I think we had 16 people, and this was at the church in the valley off of Coldwater Canyon. So we had 4 different tables set up. The 2 in the middle are Rebels and Patriot games. We also had a Black Powder game, and we had a Sharp Practice game. Let's see. So that's just an overview. This, I believe, is one of the Rebels and Patriots games. The people who got their first set up early, and I'm not particularly sure what the scenario is, but they had some nice looking models and a scenario that they were actually playing around this little tent, little huts in the center. There's some defenders there trying to hold on basically in the center.
Mm-hmm.
This
This was Sharp Practice, which I played. It was really fun. I've never played this game before, so I can give a report on it later or now or whatever you want.
let's see if we get a more interesting picture of Sharp
Yes.
Practice. All right. Oh, then we also had a Redcoats and Tomahawks, Muskets and Tomahawks game, but no one played that. So,
Yep. So that was.
but we
just
had it
there.
set up.
Yeah.
This is the other Rebels and Patriots game that I ran for other people. Scenario was basically holding the bridge. The British did manage to hold the bridge for 3 straight turns, so they won the scenario. And
This is our Sharp Practice game.
so what happened in this game?
Okay, so it was a setting of 1780 November, South Carolina. Adam and myself were Francis Marion's forces. They're the horses down in the lower part. We have to charge in and get those wagons up in the center of that little village and then drag them off the board. We were able to get one unit to drag the one cart off, but the other cart we did not get off. We got shot to pieces before we could get off. The only so it started with all the British officers in that brown building with the lid off of it, the roof off of it. So if you've ever played Sharp Practice or any of the kind of Chain of Commands or Fat Lardy games, you need an officer to benefit your troops a lot of times. So the British were tasked to running their officers out to their troops, which gave the American militia a chance to run in and grab those carts. So it was a really fun game. Like I said, in the end, we did not win. We only got one cart off. So before our morale was drained.
There's a lot more of these, so if you guys go through, he'll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as you click through them.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is just the capturing of the cart. You can see we have one cart off at the top, and we're just trying to capture the other cart.
You're so
it was-
close.
Yeah, that was the thing. I did a canter up, and in this game you roll 2 dice to see how far you go, and I just was 2 inches short. Basically, we lost the game by 2 inches. So great. It's all great fun though. So that's where we dropped the second cart. We got shot to pieces because we had to dismount and then pull the cart across basically a gauntlet of loyalist troops, loyalist militia. And this is somebody else's game.
This is the other Rebels and Patriots game. This is just their nice looking models all set up on the table at the start.
Yeah.
Another part of this event was that it was a memorial for the former owner of Aero Hobbies who passed away in May. We had a bunch of people come out who, one guy actually came out from Iowa to see this memorial. So there were some people who people came from far and wide just to listen to the memorial, and that's one of the speakers talking about Keith, the former owner of Aero Hobbies. And then there's another Sharp Practice picture. On the right is the Rebels and Patriots game I ran. And you can see the Americans are trying to advance on the bottom right, and the English were on the left side. They had a cannon. The cannon was kind of devastating. The Americans were actually doing pretty good until they basically rolled a extremely poor activation roll of 2. Anytime you roll a 2, something really bad happens on 2 dice. Anytime you roll a 12, something really good happens. Well, the Americans rolled a 2, and then they ended up basically deciding to panic, and they shot the unit standing next to them and causing them to withdraw from the battlefield.
Oh,
They had a friendly fire incident. I mean, that's what happens when you have different states fighting together. They fired on their own men, and then the American left flank kind of folded at that point.
Oh, jeez. Well, it sounded like we all had fun. It was a really good time.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend if you can get out there and join us. It's always a great time.
I believe they were talking about the first weekend in October as the next game. I think the theme might be Wild West.
Yes,
not
I think
100
they're
but
gonna
that's
try
not
to
set.
do. Yeah, it's not set.
It's not set in stone yet, but if it is, it would be things like Dead Man's Hand and What a Cowboy, and possibly also Dracula's America as well.
Sure. So yeah, it's always a great time. I highly recommend. Good air conditioning, good food. Good company. So
Yeah, so when we left at around 3 o'clock, I mean, the thermometer in my car was 106 degrees in the valley. This was the valley, but inside it was nice and cool because he's got giant-sized air conditioners working well for the church. So
yeah, it was nice. All right, those are great pictures.
I guess
I think this is the black powder game.
Oh yeah, you can tell there's a lot of models on the table there. I do not know how that went. But yeah, I know there were 3 people playing it, so
I've actually never played Black Powder either, so maybe try that next time.
that's the good thing, is that you could try different games. There's plenty of things. I wanted to play Sharp Practice, but I ended up running the Rebels and Patriots game,
Yeah, of course.
just because I'm familiar with it. All right,
All right.
great.
So
I think that's the end of the slideshow then.
Well, there's another slideshow if you go back one to the directory,
to the
drive directory.
the drive.
I don't know if you can do that. You know, you have to go to drive. There you go. And then go to episode 15. Yeah, and then do the scenario 6.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh no, this is nightmarish.
So
you
we'll,
see that?
yeah, so this is the board that we set up, the rail board. There's awesome buildings that Mark painted in the background. That's your painted factory, right, Mark?
Yeah, the warehouse I bought from, I forget, the Fathers and Sons. You turned me on to that place.
Yeah.
Fathersandsons.com.
Right, and then we did the Pegasus terrain for the rail station. And if you go to the next slide, then we had some Lego cars, because I thought I had some better cars. And then
We'll work on that.
yeah, go to the next slide. So this is sort of this is by turn 4 here. You can see down in the lower portion of the screen, we used index cards with the little mini maps and squad leader card counters to represent the squads. When they entered a building, they went back onto the player's sideline, and then we used squad leader counters to represent them. We had little areas. So basically what happened was it was night, and I had 2 squads. If you hit the next slide, I think it shows. No, that's still turn 1. So yeah, so this is night, and he run. Mark, you did what with your guys? This is end of turn 2.
I just charged straight at the building from my. You get like an L-shaped corner of each board to enter, and I just chose to charge straight at the building, hoping that you couldn't see me, which
And
it
Mark,
worked for a minute.
You were playing the Russians, Mark?
Yes, the Soviets for sure. So I came in straight at the building. It's a little funky because there's some buildings in the way. If you look at the right-hand side picture, you have to go down some alleyways, and so that sort of funnels you into a shooting zone. And I just thought I could beat him. The thing that killed me was plunging fire. I think he rolled 10 shots, 10 kills in one shot, right? For one team.
Yeah, but I waited till you were right at the building, because there's no way to see, and I got a good visual dice, because you think about it, I was up on the 2nd floor, so I needed to roll what I think we were saying 6 or better.
Right, and you did it, and then you just slaughtered 10 guys all at once. So that was sort of a.
But the other build, the 3rd floor, was in the 3rd floor too, so I didn't roll an 8 or better, and I rolled like a 10, so that was unlucky for you.
And then right after that, I put a unit in the lobby and charged your unit up the stairs, did an assault, and just all I needed was 1 dice, and I didn't get it, and of course lost.
So if you go to the next slide, you can kind of see this is the turn 2 German reinforcements.
And you see I brought in that artillery shell that
right there,
Soviet.
And it did nothing.
No.
It was very sad. It just gave some pins.
I would use the 100 points for a tank now that if I went back over that.
Yeah, because you get those tractor tanks. That makes it really fun.
Yeah,
and then
over that.
And then the next slide gets you a close-up of how we did the floors. So the one on the left is the ground level, and then 2nd level is the one in the middle, and then the last one on the right is 3rd level. So you can see I had that 3rd level squad up and there. They had a flamethrower, but Mark took the first, half of the 1st level and then ascended to the 2nd level. So he had a good foothold in the building.
Just the rules there are really hard because you have to run into each room, and doing that is just it's really hard. You got to have a lot of guys in the lobby or in the building.
Well, version 3, you don't have to run to get into a building anymore. You can.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you can advance and shoot.
That'd be a huge difference, you know.
Yeah, it's clear we've never played this kind of battle before, Mark and I, and we both kind of came away with going, yeah, you wouldn't be able to play Buildings with version 2.
It was rough. I mean, maybe if I got that 10, you know, just got it, because you can only put one unit in each floor or each section,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just, and then you can fire on them once they move in there. It's just really hard.
And then if
But you did a great job.
Yeah, thanks. You see the next shot, that's kind of how horrific it was. This my Stug just went up and
So
wiped out
I
the
didn't
bottom
bring
floor.
Armor. I didn't bring armor thinking I should bring more infantry, and that cost me in the end.
Yeah. And then by the end of the game, the next slide is kind of by the end of the game, you can see there was just 1 leader left.
I think I only had 2 out of 14 dice. I think I only had 2 order dice left.
Yeah, it was brutal. And it was all because you really can't assault a building in bolt action this way. I think you need to do something else. But it's all moot because that's all gone now.
MovingOn.com.
MovingOn.com. And it's 3-3 in the campaign.
Yeah, but you know, I'm scared of the new rules. You got to figure them out. You got to figure the tactics out. So we'll see what's going on.
So where did you guys play?
We played at Xander's. We've had a pretty good, solid. Probably every 2 weeks we've been having a game. So
Yeah. And then once version 3 comes out, we'll read the rules there and then dig in. I don't know if we'll play this campaign first. I think we should just play like a little,
probably a tryout game.
tryout game just to, we'll have our noses in the book.
I am talking to Xander's about having a tryout game in October for people, so maybe that would be a good time.
Excellent.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing the slides now then.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. What's the schedule? What's next? What are we talking about?
At the end of the month, the last weekend, was it the 28th and 29th, I believe, is the HMGS Pacific Southwest Convention.
Oh, yes.
In Fullerton. There's at a hotel, I think it's a Wyndham Hotel by the airport. I'm sorry, by Disneyland. HMGSPSW.org has the information. So far, they've got, I think, 11 games on the PEL so far, with more to be added. And there's a good chance I'll be going for at least one of the day. I'm thinking of going on Saturday and possibly running the game myself, but I have not cleared that yet. So.
Yeah.
How far is that far from you, Phil?
It is. It's at least an hour drive.
Yeah.
In no traffic, so.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a trip for me. I don't know if I'm gonna make that one.
Yeah, I unfortunately don't think I'll be able to make it either. It's quite a trip down there for me. And I drive all the time. I have a commute for my regular job. So it's a little hard, but I'm sure they'll have fun. They always do.
Of course they will. Of course they will. Awesome.
And the other game then would be, as I mentioned earlier, it looks like there'll be a Wild West game at St. Michael's Church the first weekend and first Saturday in October.
That's
For
right.
sure. Awesome.
And now, Phil, if you do go to Mini Wars, are you going to run a BattleTech?
I do not know. I've been considering I could rerun the exact same BattleTech game, or I could run either What a Tanker, because I've run that before without any problems, and I could also run Blood Red Skies, which I've got a lot of points for as well. So those are my 3 options. I'm not sure which one's the What a Tanker is. I could just run for several hours and people could drop in and out, so that's nice for a convention.
Yeah.
Blood Red Skies, that would be a scenario that with a stop and start, but it would be a short scenario. It would only be maybe 3 hours at the
Do you got a lot of drop-ins at that convention of people that don't play?
I don't know what time people show. So far, there's a lot of events that are on the schedule that are long, that are like 6 to 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how many people are they get as walk-ins. I didn't go last year.
Mm-hmm.
I went before the pandemic, and I think just after the pandemic when they were in a different location.
Yeah, I went after the pandemic one time.
Well, they have a big Flames of War, so that's going to be huge.
And I think they have a DBA tournament as well so far on the calendar, plus a bunch of other standalone games.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm
Right on.
I'm hoping to at least come in and check it out. Maybe play a Munchkin game, something fun and easy,
you
just
go.
to see how things are and what's going on. What about Major Wellington? What's going on with the Major Wellington group?
Like I said, in October, we're working on doing a practice bolt action up at Xander's. Try that out, see how the new version is. We have a Pirate Day I think it's the mid-September 17th time. I'm not sure the exact date. I'm sorry about that. That's a Pirate Day to play Blood and Plunder or any pirate game that you have. That'll be at Odyssey Games in Pasadena. And then in November, we're just working on something for November. But, with the holidays coming up, sometimes it gets out of whack.
The Pirate Day is Saturday, September 21st at Odyssey,
Thank you.
and you could find it on Facebook.
Thank you very much.
So, Mark, you are thinking of running a Bolt Action 3rd edition game session in October at Xander.
Yeah, we've been playing up there a lot, Paul, and then we've been getting a lot of kids and people that are interested in the game. So I thought, it's a good time to show the game off and go over the new rules for myself. And it's always good when you play the game and show the game, and you learn the game that way better, right?
Yeah, and if you just discount the Legos, I mean, we
Hey,
do
they were
make a
great.
pretty good board.
They were great. No, that worked out perfectly.
We actually got a shout out there for the Legos. Remember that guy came by and went,
Oh yeah,
"Are-
that guy was excited.
yeah, he's like, those are Legos? Oh my God,
Right.
that's awesome."
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited for Bolt Action 3rd edition. I've got the book on order, and I've also picked up some more models recently, basically to expand my force based on what I've heard. So, for example, I've got a Japanese anti-tank gun I've got to build. I didn't have one before, and I've heard good things about anti-tank guns in version 3. They're supposed to be better. And I also have HMGs for my Americans and Germans as well.
Nice. Tabletop CP just did a review of the 3rd edition. I think they played a game of it. They really like it.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch. I know that for anti-tank guns, for example, I think they're +1 to hit tanks or armored vehicles now, and that goes for guns on tanks as well. So any anti-tank gun, whether it's stationary or mobile, has +1 to hit tanks now. So,
They're saying you should never see Super 6 unless you're inexperienced, I guess.
well, Super 6 isn't allowed anymore in the rules.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
they've gotten rid of that. So that's why
Nice.
they've introduced the armor save,
Right.
because it gives them a wider selection of numbers to roll. Because it used to be you hit on a 4, 5, or 6, and then it jumps all the way up to Super 6, which is a 6 followed by a 6. So
Yeah.
the probability goes shooting up from a 6 to a Super 6.
Right.
But now with a regular shot and then an armor save, they got a more even distribution of numbers, basically.
Right.
So there was a lot of hate on the internet about the whole cover save
Of course.
edition, and that's gone quiet since the 3rd edition has been in a bunch of people's hands, and we've seen tons of gameplay, which I think is really interesting.
Yes.
The only hate I saw was someone said, "I only see a small rule book, and I can't read a small rule book." But so
Weird.
we have these glasses, right, Mark? We wear these
the
every
old
time
man-
we play.
You gotta have old man spectacles.
And just
to
look
see
down
it.
at-
Yeah,
yep.
exactly. You look like a wizened gamer.
I'm a sage at 3E.
Sage. Yes.
So no,
Yeah, it said there's more tabletop CP said there's more officers.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like there's a lot more just action going on, so that's great.
yeah, things go much quicker. I know the Juggernaut guys retooled their lists and said it was a wash. So they took their old lists and plopped them in the new points, and they were the same. So they've just readjusted points. I'm really excited that they've fixed a couple of very key things. One is flamethrowers. So now the only person that can do the point and take something out is the sniper, which is great. So there's no more exceptional damage, right? That helps a lot.
Oh, really? There's no more exceptional damage on random 6s?
Right. I'm pretty sure they got rid of that because they've talked about just snipers are the only ones, and they only hit a leader.
Yeah.
And so that makes a leader loss. And then remember how you would get hit your 2-man bazooka team, the sniper would take out the bazooka man, and then the other guy would flee. Now what happens is you take out the bazooka man, the loader picks it up. Now he's leaderless, so he takes a -1, but he's off and running. He still has to take a morale check for his pins.
Right.
Then the other thing is that pins don't only affect fire once. So if you have 8 pins, you're only taking 1 off your fire. I know, Mark, you felt a little queasy on that one.
Yeah, I didn't know if pins are representing each person, each miniature being shocked or upset, then I don't know how that works. But
Well,
I'm sure
pins,
they've calculated it.
I think pins still affect your order test. I mean, if you have 5 pins, it's a lot harder to pass your order test.
Right.
But these days, if you do a rally order as well, it picks up all your pins.
Yeah,
So rally is much better these days.
yeah, you don't have to roll the 6
okay,
sided die
yeah.
plus 1.
Yeah.
That's
'cause
gone.
You spent the
Yeah.
order on it. Now you get double penalized.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so-
I think it washes out because if you think about it, if you have like 7 pins, you're not firing anyways.
No.
So it meant it wasn't a really meaningful, only for 1 or 2 pins, and so just because you could
I'm
never
sure
really
it's
pass.
in the calculations now with the saving throws or whatever you want to call them.
cover saves.
Cover save. Sorry. I'm sure they're in the calculations. They figure all this stuff out. You just got to play through the game a few times and see how it goes.
Well, everyone that's been playing through it and reporting on the web has said they're, super fab,
Yes.
super fab this game. All the naysayers that said it's just another 40K have also disappeared. I don't hear that
Right.
anymore.
Right.
Because
Well-
40K never had that much cover saving modifiers anyways. Like right now in 11th, you just get 1 for cover saves.
Right. I'm sure there's a factor that people worry that the new game they'll lose players, so they don't want to poo-poo it. So.
I'm just so grateful now we have more historical built lists at tournaments.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
I mean, they did, for example, if you look at the latest stuff on the close combat and charge rules, they basically nerfed some of the favorite units that some people were using, like bamboo spearmen for the Japanese and cavalry units, because charging's a lot different now. Basically, I think when you charge, the attacker no longer gets to go first most of the time. Either the attacker and defender are at the same time if it's in the open, or if the defender has cover, the defender goes first, not the attacker.
Yeah, that's true, and that's going to make assaulting much more difficult. But like the building rule, now you can advance into a building or a building location, and so you can still fire.
And that would make submachine guns so much cooler. You make a whole squad of submachine guns if you're in a building. That makes way more sense to have a bunch of submachine guns.
Yep, and then you can go down. So that's still going to improve your cover save. So I think building combat will be a little bit better, but I don't see how you can do building combat without the way we did it, where you have the counters and stuff.
Right. I mean, if you want to put all your men in there and blah, 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 but,
See, what I remember about version 2 is that if my enemy's got a lot of guys in a building, I just throw as much HE at the building as I can.
And that I just didn't bring the HE for that game for that.
Yeah, the Stug was really good at that. I would, because you can just aim at the building, and wow, that was because you get D6 hits. So
Yeah.
and then
That's
they
right.
have
This
that.
building.
Yeah, so he had like 2-man counters in there, and I was hitting it, and then D6 hits, and he had to wrap. Mark was. I remember you were like, "Wait a second, I thought I went down. It was half the guys. No, it's half the
Right.
hits," and you're like, "Oh, that's
Ouch.
not good."
Ouch.
But-
There's no reason to be in that building then.
I want to call out Mark because he did a really good job of just sticking in there, even though he was getting wiped.
Oh, you did. You did a great job. I made a mistake, and how I probably put my list together, and you did a great job.
Well,
So-
yeah, I mean, I thought you did the right thing. You rushed the building at night.
Yeah.
I don't know that you could have gotten
I
any
just thought
better
I
than
could
that.
beat your tank, and I didn't realize your tank was just gonna sit and hammer the building. You just don't think about those things.
Yeah. So excited for version 3. What are you excited for, Phil? What's on the horizon for you?
I mean, I am excited about version 3. I'm excited about painting some. It's been a long time since I painted bolt action models, so I want to get started on these pretty soon. that's about it for the short term. I don't know of anything else coming out that I've heard about. So
you're going to build an AT gun and for Japanese?
Japanese AT gun and some HMGs, which I've never had before, for my Americans and Germans.
That's right. HMG gets 6 shots now.
For Germans, yes. Oh, Germans get 7, don't they? Or
Well, we don't know that yet.
we don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. But we know that they get full 6 shots for HMGs and MMGs.
That makes more sense. That's awesome.
Yeah. What about you, Mark? What are you excited for?
Version 3, of course. You're learning version 3, finishing our scenarios, our campaign. That's been really fun. I liked it a lot. So just, cruising along.
Yep. Next one we have is Verdun Revisited.
Yeah, doesn't look fun.
No.
I mean, it looks fun, but it doesn't look fun.
But we'll probably play a little mini game just to learn version 3.
Yeah, like I'm saying, if we don't, it's going to change your tactics on how you know the game. If how I advance and all that stuff, or you advance.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll have our nose in the books. That's for sure.
That's for sure. Right on. Looking forward to it.
Anything else we want to attack before we go into our next October episode?
Nope. I think we're covering a lot of ground today.
Excellent. So, Mark, famous last words?
We're going to put Paul to work on the sound engineering.
And editing. Don't forget the editing.
Oh, the editing too.
Yeah. And Phil, you get your own famous last words.
Maybe I'll download the software and play around with it and see what I can do.
Yeah, and I am going to practice more. In my defense, I did not.
I'll give you credit. I'm just giving him a little rap. No, he's doing a great job for us.
Yeah, I mean, this is a lot more features than we ever had before in a podcast. So thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, we're gonna
For
get
sure.
we're gonna get better. We have we still have the cool stuff that we can do. So
There you go.
That works
Perfect.
for me. I like that a lot.
Perfect.
The other thing we want to do is probably try to get out and do some remotes.
Yes. Dan at the church asked us if we wanted to come down and do that, do an interview, and we could do it live from there. So.
Well, we did back in I think episode 4. We did an interview with Dan
Yes.
and the group, and that was very successful. So yeah, let's plan on that.
I was thinking we could be like sports broadcasters there, like doing a live podcast.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a chance for all 3 of us to get in there and do it too, because that's centrally located for us.
It is definitely.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to be building a Vespa, which I really have always wanted to build, because now the self-propelled guns are supposed to be better. You can get a whole part of your AT battery.
You have to think. I just thought of you in Italy on a little Vespa motorbike. I was like, what is he talking about? A Vespa? Why is he? Okay, I got you. Right on.
And then I bought a machine gun team, and we also now will have 3 88s, so we can play Stonebridge.
Yes, that is, there's just too much good stuff.
Too many good stuff, too many good things. Alrighty, so we will. Our engineering department will work feverishly at learning this new platform, and until October, first week in October, hopefully, get back on schedule. We're kind of a week late because of Strategicon. It's a good excuse, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Do you want to play the partying music, Mark?
Oh,
we can all play it, right?
I think we can all.
Oh, there we go.
Nice. Awesome.
All right. See you guys later.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, all.